How does the role of law enforcement fit into the idea of citizen defense industry?
It doesn't. Citizen defense industry does not encompass law enforcement. Like I said earlier, the Supreme Court has ruled that law enforcement is not legally obligated to risk their lives on behalf of yours. I think if through strong community, we can curb a lot of the issues that we see law enforcement having to go in and fix. And I think it's apparent because law enforcement officials in a more pacified, smaller communities, say in central Wisconsin, where I'm from, versus law enforcement officials in not as well-established communities or where there's gang violence, such as Milwaukee.
Okay.
They have to do a lot more.
Yeah. So that with that being said, let's take another break and get right back to it.
Going back to law enforcement and how it fits into the citizen defense industry, last thing I want to say about that is when emergency events start to break down our public systems, it will be up to you and it will be up to the community to pick up the pieces and secure the future. Law enforcement is not your friend. No one's coming to save you. Be fit, be ready. That's all I want to say about that.
All right. So do banks and the financial system make it easier or harder for people to be self-sufficient?
Oh, it makes it far harder.
Yes.
Securing financial freedom and increasing your financial capability.
Feels almost impossible, correct?
It does feel impossible. And when we talk about banks, I don't really mean the credit union in your local town. I mean centralized banks. Because what has been happening for a long time now, whenever the government wants money, they go to the central bank, that money gets printed, and that cost is handed off to us in the form of inflation. It's essentially in itself a tax. But it's not a tax. Oh, it's just inflation. Some inflation is good for the economy. No. Some people say that. Financial experts will say that. Yes.
How does our current culture values impact our ability to be independent? I think we spoke about that a little earlier too.
We did. Definitely touched on how our cultures at the moment have been clashing pretty bad. Yep. For example, the whole left versus right, Democrat or Republicans, that has been tearing our country literally in half. And we are so focused in arguing between ourselves about really nonsense.
Yes.
If you think about it, all you're doing, if you're a truly free people, you should not have to wait for an election cycle to vote, hopefully vote someone in that's going to allow you those freedoms.
Yeah.
I know when it comes to probably a good portion of the gun sphere, there was a lot of high-fiving going on after Donald Trump was elected. I don't think we've seen really any improvement minus not having to pay a $200 tax stamp for SBRs. I think if you're truly free and you mean it, you're not going to vote for someone's authority to allow you those freedoms.
That's crazy.
And then
I thought of it.
Other cultural aspects, I think fear is injected into our lives.
Absolutely.
And it keeps us, those rats in the cage, bickering with each other.
That's why we run to a corner and try to hide by ourselves and get everything for ourselves, bro. We're scarcity. Mm-hmm. Really. Trying to grab all those resources and keep it to yourself and hoard it. Even knowledge and information. Like you don't want everybody to have it, and that's the mindset. That's what they've given us.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of you're different, you don't do things like we do things, so now you're the adversary, you're the enemy. And really we could be sitting at a table having really cool discussions about
and we do that.
How we can grow.
Hey, we're great, we're good, we do that. And we are completely different. Right. But we're able to do that.
Yes.
And it's fun and we enjoy it. Yes. And we learn a lot every single time And the last time we were having a conversation. Yeah, the best conversations. Oh, man. The best conversations. All right. So for someone who feels broke but wants to take action, what is the single most important step they can take today?
I think the first step is to make an assessment of your capabilities. Where are you lacking? Where do you need help in? Where do you need to improve? And then finding solutions for that. For some people, that's going to be financial. For other people, it's going to be combat effectiveness. Or I take a bus to work every day. I really need to get a personal vehicle so I have better freedom of movement. And because Dissent is very gun-centric, I'm going to touch on it a little bit. If you are interested in firearms and firearms training as a way to increase your combat effectiveness, and you do not currently own a single firearm, the first step is going to be a pistol in your budget, a holster, and a light for that pistol. I think a good standard is do not buy equipment if it's going to prevent you from buying the ammo required to train twice a month. If you can go out and shoot a couple hundred rounds a month, you're in a good space.
Yeah.
And if you can't really do that, and you can only shoot 50 or 100 rounds at a range, and then you have to go home and dry fire from your holster, then do that. Do it until you're blue in the face. I did it.
Yeah.
I mean, just last year when I was transitioning from the military,
Yes.
I didn't have a lot of finances at my expense.
Yes.
I bought a weapon in my budget. I bought as much ammunition as I could. And then when I couldn't hit the range due to time or money, I would find time in my living room while I was watching a show, YouTube, and just getting the muscle memory down.
Okay. So all in all, what does Dissent represent?
Dissent represent the citizen defense industry and taking back our communities from the government. I think, from my point of view,
Okay.
the reason why my brand is called Dissent, and that's the name I went with, is because there's a lot of noise going on, and I think my opinion is not very mainstream. I think I'm a little bit more radical
Yeah.
than a lot of the population.
And you want to bring people together.
Yeah, I want to bring people together, but I also want to provoke thought and emotion and be like, hey, this isn't right. I'm gonna take a stand to this. This is how I help my community. This is where I drew the lines. I want to spread that level of thinking.
I appreciate that. I do, man. Thank you for coming on the podcast. I do look forward to other conversations that we have, and we'll definitely do this again.
Absolutely.
All right, brother.
Don't let life pass you by. Praise the Lord, love your woman, feed your kids, live your life. Make sure you're honest, fight your demons, drink some whiskey, enjoy your family. Praise the Lord, love your woman, feed your kids, live your life. Make sure you're honest, fight your demons, drink some whiskey, enjoy your family. Everything has changed.